Michael Avenatti tells CNN's Jake Tapper the noose is tightening around Michael Cohen's neck. In a Wednesday interview with CNN's Jake Tapper, Stormy Daniels' attorney Michael Avenatti said that the end is in sight for Michael Cohen. "Based on my experience, I'll tell you this," Avenatti began. "There is a common progression here when you have individuals that are in the situation that Michael Cohen is in. And they start off very defiant and then they realize how much a case like this costs to defend. And by the way, I estimate that his attorneys were probably soaking him for about $500,000 a week in connection with this case over the last 2 months, so that adds up quickly, so you could be looking upwards of $3 million or $4 million. He noted that he doubts Cohen is happy about paying that kind of money for his lawyers that couldn't prevent money being spent by simply handing documents over to the taint team rather than having it go through lawyers. I predicted this a couple of months ago," Avenatti continued. "I said he would be indicted within the next 90 days and we're at day 58, and I predicted that he would flip on the president because he would not be left with a choice. And I'll hold to those predictions, and I think that is what will happen." He went on to say that it was his understanding that the legal team split came from disputes over the hefty fees. "There was also a dispute relating to the strategy associated with the case," the attorney continued. "Here is the issue for Michael Cohen: with each passing day, Jake, his options become potentially more and more limited, because if Bob Mueller ultimately concludes that a sitting president cannot be indicted, and I think that he will ultimately conclude that based on his pedigree and how conservative he is just by nature, Michael Cohen could be left without a chair when the music stops. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that Michael Cohen could be left to face significant jail time with no one to flip on." When asked if Cohen is sending up smoke signals to Trump to ask for help, Avenatti said that it is entirely possible, but that it's pretty late in the game. "I don't think all of the smoke in the world will save him, and I think that ultimately Mr. Trump is going to leave him hang him out to dry, because he's not known as a guy that is loyal to others, as you well know and has been well documented. And again, I think ultimately Michael Cohen will be put on an island with very few choices," Avenatti said. He continued, explaining that he thinks Cohen is simply running out of time and burning through cash and availability. When you are burning $500,000 in a week potentially in a case like this, again, that adds up very, very quickly. "So again, I think that the noose is tightening and reality is setting in, and it will continue to set in the coming days and weeks," Avenatti said.